Hey guys, my name is Gabby, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be doing the Nsfw book tag, which stands for not suitable for work or not safe for work. I saw this tag over on Chapter Stack's channel. I'm going to put her link in the description for the original if you want to check it out. I just thought that this would be a really fun tag to do. I've never actually seen anything like this particular book tag on BookTube, and I just thought it would be a really interesting tag to do. Yeah, let's just jump right into the questions.
You make me so sad. I'm talking waterfall.
Question number 1. What is the last book you would want your parents to walk in on you reading? This one is kind of hard because I really don't think that my parents care what I read. They're not really aware of like what books are controversial or things like that. Like, I don't know, my parents aren't very book aware. Like, neither of them are readers, so I don't think I'd really like care if they walked in on me reading anything. But I guess for the sake of this answer, I'm gonna say 50 Shades of Grey, because even though my parents aren't readers, they do know the controversy surrounding 50 Shades of Grey, and not that it would be like they wouldn't be upset or anything, but I just think it'd be kind of awkward if they walked in on me reading 50 Shades of Grey, you know? Or I have to say Sweet Filthy Boy by Christina Lauren, just because of this book title alone. It makes it sound like it's so bad. I don't know. But I think I'd be embarrassed if they walked in on me reading this. I don't know. Number 2, it's storming outside and you're home alone for the night. What book would only make matters worse? With 172 Hours on the Moon. This was a book I read last year late at night, and it was really scary and creepy. It's like a paranormal book that takes place on the moon. Another answer that I thought would work for this would be The Shining by Stephen King, because this book is like one of the creepiest books I've ever read. Oh my god, it's so scary. I would not want to be home alone reading either of these books. Alright, number 3 is, have you ever read a book simply because of the controversy surrounding it? And for this one, yes, I have read a book because of the controversy, and that book is Forbidden by Tabitha Suzuma, and this book is a book that involves incest. That's a pretty big controversy right there, but I actually wanted to read this not only because of the controversy, but because of the fact that people were saying that this book is about incest, but it actually makes you like interested in their story, and like it actually makes you feel a lot of shit. Alright, number 4, what is the most cringe-inducing romance or sex scene you have ever read? Thought about this a lot because I haven't really read a lot of books that have like cringe-worthy sex scenes, but there is this one in this book called Losing It by Cora Carmack. It's so funny. There is a scene where he's like taking her virginity, because the whole book, it's called Losing It because she's like losing her virginity. And this isn't a spoiler or anything, it's like right in the beginning. She like asks him to stop and stuff, but she's like, stop, cats, stop! Like, she just says cats for like no reason at all, and it's like really funny and awkward, and he's like, did you just say cat? It was so like cringeworthy and awkward and funny. I don't know. I didn't really like that book a lot, but that was funny. Number 5, what book has made you question the author's sanity? And for this one, I'm gonna go with You by Carolyn Kepnes, but like in a good way, you know, because this book is written so well, like into the mind of the stalker. He's funny, like it's like dark humor, like it reminds me of like American Psycho or Dexter or something, with the way he's just so like such an intense narration, and I love that. I mean, I appreciate that an author can do this. Number 6, have you ever put down a book and not finished it because the content was a little too much for you? This one, I don't think I have, or at least I couldn't think of any book that I've ever put down just because it was like too much. But the closest I ever came to putting a book down because it was a little bit too much was this book called Fault Line by Krista Desert. The whole reason why it has like a lighter on the front is because this girl gets raped, and then the guys like take a lighter and like it gets stuck inside of her. But I think I ended up actually like enjoying the book somewhat. I think I gave it like 4 stars, but the whole idea of this was like a little crazy for me. It was like, that's intense. Yeah, I think that's the closest I've came, but I've never actually put down a book just because the content was a little bit too much for me. Number 7, which fictional character do you have the most Nsfw thoughts about? And this one was funny because like I don't really have Nsfw thoughts about fictional characters in books. I guess the characters I would definitely be Ansel in Sweet Filthy Boy, because he is just so swoon-worthy and amazing, and, you know, hashtag goals. And I would also say Warner from Ignite Me, because he's just so charming. I adore him so much. Number 8 is show us your most Nsfw book cover. This one was so hard, you guys. Like, I didn't realize how G-rated my bookshelf is until this question came up, and I know this is like ridiculous and pathetic that this is like my most controversial book cover, but it kind of is. Like, I don't really have a lot of controversial book covers on my actual bookshelf, and this one is like they're in this like tight embrace, and then you flip it and then there's another tight embrace. Is this one controversial? Out of my physical books, like, those would be the only two that I could think of that are slightly controversial-ish, but out of my books in my ebook library, I think the most controversial covers Mudvayne by Taryn Fisher. She's just like covered in ropes. This one, Heartache, and I don't remember who the author is, but I'll put the picture here and I'll put the link in the description if you want to check it out. And All the Pretty Lies, and I don't remember the author for this one either, but I think these three books are more controversial-ish covers. I mean, I might be embarrassed to read any of these three in public. Number 9, have you ever read something from the erotica/romance genre, and what did you think? And yes, I have. I think it honestly depends on who the author is. Sometimes, like, erotic books can either be like 50 Shades of Grey. I really didn't like 50 Shades of Grey, it just wasn't my cup of tea. But then there's books that have like erotic elements like weaved into them, and it's not entirely based off of that. For example, Unteachable by Leah Rader. This has a lot of like erotic scenes that take place in this book, but it's not necessarily an erotic book, or at least I wouldn't consider it one. Number 10, you stumble across a portkey. What fictional world would you not want to be transported into? And this one was kind of hard because I don't really read like a ton of dystopians, but I thought about this for a while, and I'm gonna have to go with The Maze Runner by James Dashner because I would not want to be transported into that maze. That was the Nsfw book tag. I'm sorry, this was probably not very interesting, and I didn't realize that I'm such a G-rated square person. Yeah, that's just the way it is, I guess. Yeah, and thank you guys so much for watching as always. I'll be posting more videos soon, and yeah, see you guys soon.